is an illusion. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you, beloved Baba, for giving us so much more time. What is the time now? 37. Never mind. All right. Things happen like that. It's perfectly okay. Now we are reading perhaps the last, it's not a chapter, but it is like a postscript and other areas of communication. So this is the last of the lot. And there will be very little of, what should I say, explanation. Most of it would be reading only. So let's start. Jai Baba. Anand, Meher wanted to sing something. Meher, okay, go ahead. Today is beloved Baba's birthday according to the Zoroastrian calendar, Parsi calendar. Tir Roj we call it, and a Sarevar Maino. And Baba used to celebrate this birthday for quite some time in the early stages of his ministry. Then later on, they shifted to a fixed date, that is 25th of February, for the simple reason that every 4 years, one day is shifted forward. So I'm sure there must be a lot of confusion as to when is Baba's birthday. So then they finally fixed it for 25th of February. So Meher wants to sing something. So please, Meher, go ahead.
I wish Meher Baba a happy birthday. Happy birthday to our darling Meher Baba. Jai
Yes.
Baba. Thank you.
Thank you, Meher. Thank you, Meher. All right. Go ahead.
Postscript. I am exceedingly touched by the many letters I have received from all over the world in response to my 2 previous books of conversations. In these letters, readers shared the inner blossoming of their hearts, a springtide bestowed on them by the Awakener as they tried to relate more intimately to him. I am moved to see how he opens the heart portals of his dear ones, revealing his mysterious, loving presence ever residing within each one. This he does gracefully in the most intimate personal ways. I have seen how the reading of these conversations has inspired others to converse with him in their daily living in big and small matters alike. I feel immensely indebted to the Awakener for his gifts of conversation to me. He is indeed the most intimate one. Through creative inner dialogues, he reveals, unfolds, and releases the true nature inherent in the very core of each one's being.
So in other words, again, although it's a postscript, it is for each one of us to try to internalize whatever we have read, to try to emulate what the author is saying, to try to practice on a day-to-day basis his presence. And those who have done that, the author says, Bal Natu ji, that they felt an immense transformation in their own life. They realized that they can feel the intimacy of Baba's presence in your heart, in their heart, and they could also communicate with him and get messages from him. So this is not just a book to be read like most Baba books, it is not just to be read, but we need the application of it in our day-to-day life. Only then it is worth spending so many hours together in reading. So most important, as we always say in spirituality, it is the practice, it is the application, it is the internalization which will finally result in the transformation of our relationship with our beloved Meher Baba.
Some of the readers who have written to me have freely, in a very friendly manner, expressed how the reading of conversations has opened new inner dimensions in their relationship with the compassionate one who is anxious to guide and converse with them in their daily lives. It is these responses that, to a great extent, have prompted me to venture into the writing of the present book, sharing my dialogues with the Awakener. During a visit, a dear friend of mine, Kendra, once quietly handed me an envelope Upon opening it, I was surprised by the contents. It was a conversation. What a wonderful treat. With her consent, I wished to share it to give readers a brief glimpse of the heartwarming and heartfelt responses shared with me by my many friends after reading Conversations. Quote, with deepest gratitude, I offer my salutations to the all forgiving Father and all loving Mother, the Awakener. May He bless us and guide us with His ever renewing presence toward a final and inseparable union with Him.
So basically,
Unquote.
basically, the whole purpose of anything that we do in terms of reading Baba's words or reading these words, the whole purpose is to transform the way our being has to be transformed. We need to change our ways of being in a manner that we constantly beseech Him to come into our hearts and sort of enlighten us and guide us and show us the path. So here very beautifully he says that in one of the meetings, Kendra Crossan-Borough, I think that's her name. She's a very, very dedicated Baba lover and she writes blogs and all that. So she gave Bal Natu ji a letter in which she is writing, which we'll read later on. But here what I wanted to read again is, some of the readers who have written to me have freely and in a very friendly manner expressed how the reading of Conversations has opened new inner dimensions in their relationship with the compassionate one. So the whole idea is it should open up new, deeper dimensions of our relationship. We are all, in a sense, having a relationship with Baba, but this will deepen our relationship. This will make us feel all the more in our heart, like here he's saying, the all-forgiving Father. Baba is the all-forgiving Father. No matter who you are, what you are, He always forgives. And all-loving Mother. The all-loving Mother never sees it to the faults of the children. We have our own imperfections, our faults, our weaknesses, our attachments. No matter what, we need to keep on hanging to His Daman with both hands, irrespective of who we are. Not to judge ourselves, not to evaluate ourselves, not to berate ourselves that, oh, I'm not doing this, so what is the point? Baba will not, accept me. Nothing of that sort. Just keep on holding on to His Dharma. So this is the postscript. Sorry? Yeah. This is over. Yeah. In a gist I have said. Yeah.
A little chat. Oh Lord.
Now this is from Kendra, which she felt very much impressed by reading these two books, the earlier two books. And she felt that she could also communicate with Baba. And she started communicating with Baba, in a sense, with the Awakener. And this is what she has to write.
Oh Lord, Bal's conversations are so wonderful. I wish that I too could learn the art of conversing with you. Why shouldn't you? Everyone and anyone can converse with me. Well, I've tried talking to you, but I don't seem to get any reply. That puts a damper on the conversation rather quickly. Have you considered that the art of conversation is really the art of listening? Maybe I haven't learned that lesson yet. I do try to listen, but usually all I hear is my own thoughts. The parade of cynical, vain, and doubting comments is a long one, and though I try to let each horn-blowing irrelevancy go by, immediately another one comes along beating a drum. For ages, you have been a spectator at the passing show of the mind. Now, it is time to turn away from the spectacle and attend only to my eternal presence. If I do that, will I begin to hear you speaking to me? Better than that, you will begin to feel and hear my silence. Hearing it, you will draw deeper into its depths until you live and breathe my silent ocean of love and drown in it when the time is right. But for now, why not just enjoy our little chat? I will tell you one more secret about the art of conversation with me. Don't think that my replies come only in words. Your very life, with all its ordinary tasks and everyday activities, is my conversation with you. If you attend closely, you will receive my companionship and guidance through each experience and event. For I am the one who is ever speaking through my creation and ever silent in the heart of my perfect lover.
Great. I would like to read that again for two reasons. One is we don't have much ground to cover actually, but they're very, very profound. So Kendra, like one of us, has been reading this book and she felt a lot of a profound transformation in her being. And she felt, why don't I also have a little chat? We all can with the beloved. So here in this particular chapter, if you want to say chapter, Baba is giving us so many other clues as to what exactly it means by having a conversation with the awakener and what you should expect and how to go about it. So here, this was not in a sense covered in the main book. So this is a fresh attempt of you can say a lay person who has not been communicating with Baba in that sense. And what is the key or the clue that we are getting from the awakener? Now I'll read the whole thing. Oh Lord, Bal's conversation, Bal's means Bal Natu. Bal's conversation are so wonderful. I wish that I too could learn the art of conversing with you. I'm sure we all would be getting the same feeling that why can't I converse with Baba? But most of us may be doing it without realizing that we are doing it. Why shouldn't you? Baba says, the awakener says, and we know all who's the awakener. Baba says, why shouldn't you? Everyone and anyone can converse with me. That means you and I can converse with Baba. Well, I've tried talking to you, but I don't seem to get any reply. That puts a damper on the conversations rather quickly. So she's saying, I tried to start a conversation with you, but it seemed as if there was no reply from your side, and that dampened my spirits. Then I said, oh, it's not for me. It's only for some special, specific people who are blessed and endowed with this kind of capacities and capabilities of conversation. So it dampened her spirit. Now Baba says, have you considered that the art of conversation is really the art of listening? Art of conversation is not just we asking questions or we keep on speaking all the time. It is basically an art of listening. And that listening does not necessarily happen just with the ears. It can happen within the heart. That listening can happen with everyday normal chores. You may be cooking, you may be, playing, you may be going to work. And if we are alert and aware, every moment in our heart, we are conversing with Baba, Baba will somehow find some way or the other to communicate with us through somebody else. That's why in one of Baba's messages, Baba says that I am never silent. He says, I am never silent. I speak eternally. The voice that is heard deep within the heart is my voice. The voice of inspiration, of intuition, of guidance. Through those who are receptive to this voice, I speak. In other message, it is to those. So both are applicable. So if we are alert and mindful every moment, then our answers will come not like something from a loudspeaker or something. It can come from any stray person traveling in the train or a bus or anything. You watch a television and you get an answer to your query. You listen to a radio, you get an answer. So that is what he says. Have you considered that the art of conversation is really the art of listening, which in my understanding would be the art of being always alert to hear Baba's replies to whatever is happening within our hearts. Maybe I haven't learned that lesson yet. I do try to listen, but usually all I hear is my own thoughts. And that is what happens, the thoughts masquerading as the voice of conscience, as the voice of God, and in other words, you hear or you listen what you want to hear and listen, and not what is being told to us. It's a very common experience of most people that I want a certain thing, I ask Baba, and I feel that, oh, Baba is endorsing. Yeah, go ahead and do it. That kind of thing. The parade of cynical, vain, and doubting comments is a long one. So all these comments are coming, and though I try to let each horn blowing irrelevant, they are blowing their horns, but they are irrelevant. And I am just throwing them aside. I am just not bothering to take any cognizance of that. In spite of my constantly evading and avoiding such horn-blowing messages, I find the next one has arrived. So as I am throwing away the kachra, the garbage, new ones are coming in. Beautiful. And though I try to let each horn-blowing irrelevance go by, immediately another one comes along beating a drum. So that is what happens. For ages, now Baba says, for ages you have been a spectator at the passing show of the mind. Again, in the earlier chapter also we had done that, that whatever we are experiencing, the spectacle that we are seeing in our life is nothing but a passing show. Passing show means temporary, transient, impermanent show of the mind. It is our mind constantly jabbering. It is, first of all, we think it's a beautiful spectacle, but it is just a passing show of the mind. For ages, you have been a spectator. We are spectators at the passing show of the mind. Now it is time to turn away from the spectacle. You can't turn away in the sense the spectacle will go on, but don't give it any cognizance. Don't give it any importance. In Hindi, we say, unko bhav nahi dena. Don't bother about it. Now it is time to turn away from the spectacle and attend only to my eternal presence. In other words, the spectacle, let the spectacle go on, but his eternal presence should be given attention to, should be given importance to. In an earlier chapter, Baba had said beautifully that you may participate in the spectacle if you want to, but with my presence. And when you do that, what will happen is you may enjoy the spectacle much more, because there is no fear, there is no guilt, there is no worry, there is no anxiety, because I am there all the time. So you will enjoy it all the more, and yet you will not crave for it. If you remember, we had done that. You will not crave for it. You will not be attached to it. You will not feel sad if those spectacles stop. So here, but the thought process here is quite different. That do not attend to the spectacle and pay attention to my presence, eternal presence within you. If I do that, will I begin to hear you speaking to me? Better than that, not just speaking, better than that, you will begin to feel and hear my silence. So most important thing that we are expected to hear is his silence. Hearing it, you will draw deeper into its depths, silence depths, until you live and breathe my silent ocean of love. A time will come when all that matters is your focus, your attention, your anchoring is only in Baba's presence. The spectacle will go on, the running about, the money making, the office going, the whatever, it will go on and on. It will not affect you. It will not bother you. It will not trouble you. It will not attract you. You are firmly grounded in his remembrance, in his silence. And drown in it when the time is right. Baba says, ultimately, we are supposed to drown in his love, in the ocean of his love, but only when the time is right. But somewhere somewhere we have to make a start in this life, so that hopefully by the end of the life, we are so anchored that we are only thinking about Baba. We are only remembering his presence, and by his grace and by our effort, if we are fortunate, then at the time of breathing our last, we remember him, and according to Baba, we get moksha, mukti. And drown in it, Baba says, when the time is right. But for now, why not just enjoy our little chat? I will tell you one more secret about the art of conversation with me. So he is again opening up one after the other, the secret. Already he has opened up so many secrets. Don't think that my replies come only in words. Don't think that it will come only in words. Like so many times earlier on, Bal Natu ji had said that whatever you are saying, it is just going above my head. I don't know what you are talking. I just cannot comprehend. I do not understand. But a very strange feeling of peace, of consolation, of contentment, of bliss has entered into my heart. And although I do not understand whatever words you are using, I feel very settled in my life. I feel your presence so deeply with me that nothing else matters, that words do not matter. So here Baba is saying, the secret he's giving, don't think that my replies come only in words. Your very life, with all its ordinary tasks and everyday activities, is my conversation with you. That means he's not asking us to go into the mountain, into the cave, into some jungle and concentrate and meditate on him. No, this is not the time. Today is not the time for doing any of these things. Baba says, in your day-to-day chores, whatever you are doing, you will be able to feel my presence if you are attending. Here Baba is using the word attend. If you attend closely. What does it mean? If you attend, if you are aware, mindful, alert in whatever you are doing, about my presence, in whatever you are doing, I am always there with you. Even though you are cooking, you are doing jaru, pocha, dusting, whatever that is, I am always there with you. Baba says, your very life, with all its ordinary tasks, we may say it's an ordinary thing, and everyday activities, running to work, running for business, doing this, is my conversation with you. If you attend closely, that means if you are having the ears of your heart open, you will receive my companionship and guidance through each experience and event. Each and every experience and event, you will experience my presence with you. You will experience my guidance to you. For I am the one who is ever speaking through my creation. Baba gives us the answer, the reply, through his creation, and ever silent in the heart of my perfect lover. In other words, a perfect lover, capital L, one who has really achieved him. Baba says in Hindi, Jisne paya, usne chupaya. The one who has gained it will never blabber about it. He will be very quiet and peaceful. So here we end this beautiful conversation by Kendra, a little chat. Then we move on. Again, these are some small paragraphs, so let's see.
On conversations, excerpts from the author's replies in response to letters received on conversations.
So he must have received lots of letters, and these are his replies to individuals who had written to him.
The source of these conversations with the ever-renewing awakener, the one residing in each one's being, is unconditional love which sustains life. This love is all the time waiting for the slightest genuine response from the heart, and the conversation begins.
I'll go one by one. So here what the author is saying, that the source of these conversations with the ever-renewing awakener. The awakener is constantly, he is a creator. So he is always creating various avenues, various means of communicating with us based on our own capacity to understand what he wants to communicate. And as I said, understand not just by words, but in the feeling. And that is why the word used is ever renewing awakener. He's constantly renewing, constantly creating new and new avenues. The one residing in each one's being is unconditional love which sustains life. His love for each one of us is unconditional. There is no condition that if you do the aarti for me at 7 in the morning and 7 in the night, evening, or prayers to me, then I will love you. If you bow down to my photograph 100 times in a day or whatever it is, then I will. Unconditional. No conditions attached. He only loves. This love is all the time waiting for the slightest genuine response from the heart, and the conversation begins. In other words, the importance here is the genuine response from the heart. We have done this earlier, that the quality of the answer will depend upon the quality of the question. If the question is superfluously asked, then the answer also would be given superfluously, because that means we are not really eager, we are not really sincere, we are not really genuine to get the answer. But when we ask from the core of our being, then the experience of most of us is that not only the answer is genuine and giving us a lot of guidance, but in most times, it is instantaneous. It is immediate. There is no lag of time. There's no time lag between the questioning and the answering, because he is the core. He is the core of our being. And therefore, the question and answers are immediate. Immediately, he will answer. So that was the first answer which he gave to somebody who must have asked some question.
I am like a crooked, dried twig on the awakener's universal tree. When the bird, the presence of the awakener, comes and perches on the twig, it gradually comes to life and buds sprout. The tender shoots and leaves with their lovely soft colors appear. They begin to rustle in harmony with all the other leaves on the tree and with the tree as a whole. These song-like rustlings and movements form a conversation. When the bird flies away, the twig returns to its former shape and state. Each conversation has deepened my trust that I am his dry twig, that I belong to the awakener.
Right. I missed out on one thought process in the earlier one, where Baba says that this love is all the time waiting for the slightest genuine response. I was a witness, I'm sure Soumya also with me, to Bal Natu in the other things. So that I forgot to tell when this line was read, that this love is all the time waiting for the slightest genuine response from the heart. All right. Now here the second one is, he is saying that I am like a dry twig on a tree. There's a tree and I am like a dry twig on the tree. And then the bird, when the bird, which means the awakener, perches on that twig, when the bird sits on that twig, then the twig becomes enlivened, the twig becomes alive, and the twig starts sprouting leaves and all that. And then those leaves which are sprouted, you know, they mingle with the other leaves on the tree, and then they sing a song, and they are all one. And then after a little while, the bird again flies away. And when the bird flies away, you find yourself as a dry twig. So that is, the whole idea is that it is you.
But the twig knows that he belongs to the twig.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. The whole idea in this paragraph is that he is, in a sense, trying to say that I am nothing. I am nobody. If at all you feel that I am good, that I am really blessed, then it is the bird which is perching on this dry twig, which I am, and making me come into a life, into whatever prominence or whatever it is. And then the bird again flies away. So As and when he comes, I blossom. When he goes away, I feel dry. But I know that I belong to that. See, here he's saying, when the bird flies away, the twig returns to its former shape and state. Every conversation has deepened my trust that I am his dry twig, that I belong to the awakener. So here that is the thought which has been expressed, that if you think that I am too good, I am blessed, I am endowed with some kind of capabilities of conversation, it is all because of the bird. That means the awakener. Only when he comes, I start becoming, that whatever it is, a person who is capable of conversing, of having a conversation with the awakener. And the moment he goes away, I am where I am. But in spite of that, I know that I belong to the awakener. That's a very important thing, very important thought process, that each one of us, whosoever we may be, howsoever we may be, whatever we may be, must have this trust that I belong to Baba. So no matter what I am, who I am, whether high, low, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, whatever it is, I belong to the awakener. So that's the thought which has been highlighted.
As for when the conversations began, it is hard for me to pinpoint a specific moment or episode. If you ask me specific details about a particular conversation, I will be able to describe only the general idea of it. It is as though I had been walking in the garden of the awakener, taking in the fragrance and beauty of the place which had filled my heart. And every time I entered the garden, I went by a different gate, and each time he was there to greet me, to enlighten and pacify me. Though I no longer recollect by which gate I first entered, this blessed garden, these visits have transformed my life.
So in that paragraph, which he has written in reply to others, because people are asking him questions. So he says, I have no clue when these conversations actually started. If you want me to pinpoint on a time or on a place, it may be difficult for me to tell that when it started. All I can know is that Baba, he talks about the conversation as if he is entering a garden, and the garden has several gates, many gates. And from whichever gate he enters the garden, he is welcomed by the presence of the awakener. In other words, there is no stereotype way of conversing with the awakener. He may be sleeping, he may be sitting, he may be in the garden, he may be on the shore, he may be in the mountains, he may be taking a bath, he may be having a tea, whatever. In whatever way from whichever gate I enter this garden, I am, welcomed by the awakener, and then he guides me on. So let me read now this again. As for when these conversations began, it is hard for me to pinpoint a specific moment or episode. Many times it happens that we are just floating in the beauty of that particular experience that we are going through, and we may not be able to pinpoint as to what triggered it or at what time it happened. We just float with it, we just flow with it. If you ask me specific details about a particular conversation, I will be able to describe only the general idea of it. I can only describe what generally Baba wanted me to convey. It is as though I had been walking in the garden of the awakener. Now, this is a garden of the awakener. The entire creation, so to speak, is the garden of the awakener. And it has got numberless gates. That means you can contact the awakener from wherever you are, whatever placement you are in life, taking in the fragrance and the beauty of the place which had filled my heart. And every time I entered the garden, I went by a different gate, and each time he was there to greet me. That means if we consider the entire creation as the garden of the awakener, and wherever you may be, in terms of time, place, space, whatever it is, whenever we feel the urge to communicate with the awakener, then that is the gate you are choosing to enter the divine garden. And the moment you have this jignasha, you have this genuine desire, you have this no, not curiosity. Okay, curiosity. I would say longing to communicate. You find that he's there waiting for you, irrespective of from which gate you have entered the garden. And every time I entered the garden, I went by a different gate. And each time he was there to greet me, to enlighten and pacify me. We have seen how Baba has been pacifying the author, because he always comes up with some area of his being which is less than perfect, whether it be worry, whether it be stress, whether it be not having confidence, whether it, any kind of weakness, shortcomings. And so he always comes from that point of view, and Baba always pacifies him. And we've seen this in the last two books. Though I no longer recollect by which gate I first entered, this blessed gate, these visits have transformed my life. So again, what is very important, I feel, in whatever we are doing for Baba, any reading, any group meetings that you attend, you must have a kind of a payoff, a takeaway, a kind of a takeaway. What did I get out of this session? How has it transformed my thinking process? If that does not happen, then it is just, in my understanding, just a time pass. I have nothing else to do, so let me go and attend this meeting. It's fine. Definitely somewhere down the line it may help. But we need to have this awareness of getting something out of it, some payoff, some take home sort of, that in this session, I got this, and make a note of it so that we can, move forward ongoingly. Yes, Mayor, you have a question? Meher.
Yes, Cyrus uncle. One thing, where you said that from where we enter in this thing. Yes. Now in Mehrabad, even we can enter from anywhere, but he's waiting for us at his Samadhi. He's waiting. We can come from any gate.
Correct.
He's waiting for us.
But I would add a little. He's not just at the Samadhi. He is there with each one of us wherever we are. Samadhi, of course, has tremendous importance in terms of containing the physical remains of the avatar of the age. There's no doubt about it. But it does not mean that he will not be available at your home or at my home or at Chopati or at any other place that you go. So we must cultivate this art and practice of being able to feel his presence in each and everything and in each and every place and in each and every one. Got it? Yes, Aman?
Cyrus,
yes.
I feel this statement which you made, that you must always have something to take away after attending the lecture or conversation or whatever it is. I don't agree with this.
Fine.
Why?
Good.
Because you see, I feel that, of course, if you are able to take away and write down this, that, it's perfectly all right. There is nothing wrong in it. But the very fact that you are sitting in a satsang, that clears your mind a lot.
Absolutely. That is the takeaway. Hello, Aman, that is the takeaway. It is clearing your mind. That means that's your takeaway, isn't it? That is
it gives you a sort of
exactly
silently sitting and hearing what you say or whosoever says,
right,
or
right.
even just listening to the bhajans.
Right.
There is so much of tranquility in us,
correct,
which is otherwise not there.
Isn't that a takeaway? That's what I'm trying to say. Isn't that a takeaway? In fact, I'm surprised that you are saying this, because I always find you very attentive and always taking down notes and always. So basically, you are taking away quite a bit. It's a good thing.
Today, I'm just sitting, listening to you.
Correct.
And yet, I think, because many times when we start jotting down, we miss certain things.
I agree.
But I have a habit of jotting down. But today, the way the whole thing started, I said, yeah, there is no need to jot down. It is only the need to hear you,
Correct.
to hear both of you, and especially, of course, your explanation, all that. And so I was just thinking, and now you say this is
so today, actually,
I accept
today, Aban, I'm sorry to interject. Today, your takeaway is much better, in fact. Rather than jotting down. Rather than jotting down, you have taken it in your heart. You see, so great. And I hope everyone does that. You know, everyone takes away Baba's presence in their heart. Correct.
Yes.
Yes, Aban. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, but
Thanks. All right. Go ahead.
A conversation is my play with the awakener's presence, and at the same time, a game that he plays with me. In the beginning, I clearly view a sunlit peak, but do not know how to scale it, how to reach the top. Or sometimes I hear a piece of a refrain or a rhythm, but do not find the words or the notes to make a melodious song out of it. However, through the suspense and the uncertainty of this playful challenge, my feeling of intimacy with him blossoms. It exerts a tender pull, leading me to the melodies that contribute to forming a conversation. However, I often wonder whether I have succeeded in presenting it in the way he expects of me.
Again, this is a very common experience for most of us, you know, that it's not an easy flowing thing, you know. He's saying that when I start, you know, I see a peak. Like he's explaining it in his own words, and I don't know how to climb that peak. And then gradually some words would flow, some melody would flow. I'm not able to understand. There's a lot of uncertainty. Am I hearing it correctly? Or I'm making it all up with my own mind. And then this to and fro, and then this pulling and pushing, that has been happening throughout my conversations, which I have been writing down, you know. So he was very uncertain whether really it is Baba who's giving me these thoughts or whether it is in my own mind. So here he says, but at the end of it all, even though it seems very uncertain, very challenging, unsure whether what I'm doing is right or not, at the end of the day, everything falls into place, and it gives a very beautiful melody, according to me. But here again, I am not sure whether what I have written is exactly what you wanted me to write. I remember a similar refrain being given by Don Stevens when he was asked when he was given the job of writing Listen Humanity. It is there. It's a very beautiful, I mean, he writes, you know, very beautifully, and he says that I really don't know whether exactly I have put it in print, whatever Baba has said or whatever Baba has made. I have given my best shot in whatever I have written. And I feel that although Baba knows that that is not what he has asked me to write, you know, he has, in a sense, what is it called? No, not endorsed. Nazar Andaz we call, what is it called? He has not taken an exception to it. He has ignored it. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
It conveys the spirit.
It conveys the spirit. Correct. It conveys the spirit of Baba's message, although it may not have exactly word for word what Baba wanted to say. I am digressing a little bit. Never mind. I remember there was a little, I would not say dispute, but we call it tutu meme, in the discourses of the 6th edition, which were 3 books printed in Japan, and the 7th edition, which were printed and published after Baba dropped his body. And there was a lot of dialogue happening, and I was, in a sense, not involved, but I knew what was happening. And somehow I look up to Ward Parks as a brilliant person in all these things, especially with Baba's words. And so when I met him, I told him, and he said something very beautiful, that really, and I think it goes for all of us, that it really doesn't matter whether a particular word has been changed after Baba dropped his body. The point is that if Baba wants to reach somebody's heart, then even though that word may not be conveying exactly what Baba wanted to convey, Baba will make sure that he reaches that person's heart. So what I'm trying to say, why are we fighting over words? That this is what it is, this is what it is. I mean, if Baba wants to reach us, he will reach us any which way. That's what I gathered. And I think it's a very brilliant thought. So, okay. So here again, the same thing. A conversation is like a play. It's like a game happening between the author and the awakener. And here again, once again, the author is expressing his so-called not enoughness. You can see, his really incapability of translating into exact words what the awakener wanted to convey. And therefore, he is expressing in this last line, however, I often wonder whether I have succeeded in presenting it in the way he expects of me. So that kind of humility he has, I really don't know. But then whether he has expressed the exact words or not, Baba has reached our heart. That is the main thing. And the words are just not really that significant. The words are only what you can say carriers of the energy. You see, like homeopathy pills, that white pills, we call it sugar pill, or blanks, we call it blanks. They are just the carrier. It is the medicine inside that affects us. So in the same way, a word may not be exactly what Baba wanted us to express, what he wanted him to express, but the energy in that, irrespective of the covering or the quoting of the words, has reached us. That is important.
The writing of conversations is not the result of inspiration or intuition. It is a wee bit of recognition, not revelation, of my relationship with the Eternal Awakener, my father and mother in one. I'm happy to admit that the conversations form a most delightful part of my life with him, a way to be in his close presence. The conversations are neither totally real nor completely fictional. The percentage of truth contained in them is for the readers to decide and judge. And I assure you that I will not disagree or argue with anyone about their judgment.
So beautiful. So now this is like a disclaimer. How in our daily, what Rakesh posts or somebody posts, that these thoughts are that of the speaker. That means there is a disclaimer. There is no authority. There is no pope who is sitting and saying, I say this, and therefore it is like, so superbly he says, the writing of conversation is not the result of inspiration or intuition. It's a wee bit of recognition, his recognition that Baba is my father and mother, not revelation, about my relationship with my eternal awakener, my father and mother. I am happy to admit, he's admitting, that the conversations form a most delightful part of my life with him, and that can form a part of each one of us' life if we learn the art of conversing with him, a way to be in his close presence. The conversations are neither totally real nor completely fictional. Now he has left it to us to decide whether you think this is real or this is fictional. This is just a play of the mind. I am reminded of the very first book that I read of Baba way back in 1968. It was by Charles Purdom, The Perfect Master. C.B. Purdom, The Perfect Master. In the very first chapter, in the very first paragraph, he writes words to the effect that this is going to be a strange book. It is of a man who claims himself to be God, and he neither clamors for public attention and and he's silent, and he claims that he's God. And I'm sure this book is going to create a lot of conversation, and he leaves it to the reader to try him out, to test him out, and then decide for yourself whether he is true or fake. I like that first paragraph so much that I said, oh, wow, this is a very honest way of starting a book. And it is now left to me that I need to now delve deep into the book and into Baba and find out whether he's a fraud or he's a reality. So in the same way, he says, the percentage of truth contained in them is for the reader to decide and judge. I'm not going to judge. It's your kshetra, your section. You decide whether there is any truth or no truth. The percentage of truth contained in them is for the readers to decide and judge. And I assure you that I will not disagree or argue with anyone about their judgment. If you say it is 100% Bankam, he would say, yes, it is. If you say it is 100% truth, he will say, yes, it is. He will not argue or do anything with regard to our judgment of the book.
Yeah. Will you please treat me as one of your friends who is willing to correct himself? For I do not claim to understand all that is stated in these conversations. This book is just an elementary attempt to share something that has moved my heart and which I was unable to keep to myself. With best wishes and much love, in the Awakener, eternally residing in you. All glory to him.
That is the last paragraph of the third book, Intimate Conversations with the Awakener. Beautiful. Will you please treat me as one of your friends who is willing to correct himself? That means if you want, you can write to him and say, okay. 4, I do not claim to understand all that is stated in these conversations. I don't understand what I wrote. Whatever Baba said, I don't claim to understand. This book is just an elementary attempt to share something that has moved my heart and which I was unable to keep to myself. It has moved me so much that I wanted to share it with everybody in creation, that this is what I have felt. With best wishes and much love, in the Awakener, eternally residing in you, in each one of us. All glory to him. And here we end exactly 6:30. Baba has been very kind with us that he makes us stop the sessions on time. Thank you, Baba. And thanks to all of you we are all as companions in Baba's Dinesh Bhai, thank you. So thank you very much. Thanks to beloved Baba. Now next Saturday is 29th of January, which is just 2 days prior to the 53rd Amar Tithi of beloved Baba. So Swami and I are, because we have not started a new book, are planning to dedicate that Saturday 29th on a few snippets of Baba's life towards the end of his physical ministry on earth. We are trying to compile something. Mostly the compilation will be from this superb book of Dr. Bharucha, which is called Meher Baba's Last Sawas, and something from Lord Meher as well. So Saturday would be dedicated for that. And then we'll move on Tuesday onwards to the last book of this series of 4. It is called Flowing Conversations with the Awakener. But we'll come to that when we come to that. Thank you, beloved Baba. Thanks to all of you. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai Baba. Thank you.
Jai Meher Baba. Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.